Airblade zmr150 Adambomb Edition. I thought that was pretty cool that he named it after me. The reason was, so I don't know how long ago it was, like 2 years ago maybe. Airblade had designed a zmr150 for Team Legit, and if you go to Google and you type in Airblade zmr150 or Team Legit zmr150, you'll see pictures of it, and it was a really cool frame. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now, and we'll see. Let's see, Team, yeah, right there. So that was it right here. Pretty sweet looking frame. And then there was a skirt and stuff for it. Here's one that I think that's Tomo that made that one. And that skirt is pretty sick. So anyway, that's the old one, but it was designed a long time ago, so it was made for like single ESCs and like a, you know, a big VTX and one of those little tiny micro cams. So I asked Airblade if they could redesign it, you know, with the newer stuff in mind. So here it is. So now it'll fit a CCD camera, and it looks completely different actually. And it's actually not 150 millimeters, it's actually 143 millimeters motor to motor. I bet you could get away with 140 and still not hit anything. But anyway, so on this one, I went with some Hobbywing 1306 4500 kV motors. I've never used these before. I saw them, and I know Hobbywing is a pretty good brand. And I was pretty surprised with these when I first armed. They were just so quiet. They sound exactly like the 1404s, because I was shocked the first time I armed with some 1404s. It was just like dead silent. I was like, whoa. And these are exactly like that, which surprised me because usually other 1306s that I've used before are much louder. But these just have some really good bearings, I guess. Super quiet. And then with the Monster Micro Pro, and then an F440 stack with the TX20 V2, little Uxie antenna, and a XM Plus in the back there, and a cap. So this does have slots instead of just holes, so you are able to use 1106, 1107, 1304, 1306, 1407, you know, any of those sizes. And this frame is light enough to even be able to use 1107s, no problem, or 1106s. The frame by itself, with the hardware, I think was right at like 31 grams or something like that. So not the lightest that you could get, but definitely not heavy. Yeah, it's definitely not heavy at all. So, but if you do use the TPU parts, which here is the skirt for it, I actually melted this out right here. This will be for the motor wires to go in. So yeah, it needs spots for the motor wires to come in, and then also a spot for a USB port. Oh, and then the other thing too is I wasn't even able to use this on this one because on the F440 stack it has this part that sticks out the side here, and then this part sticks out a little bit too. So it was kind of just smashing down on this, you know. So he's gonna make this flare out just a couple more millimeters, and then any stock will work in it. It looked pretty sweet on here though. I tried it out before I built it, and it looked badass. These just act as the standoffs, but this weighs 10 grams, so you know it's not super light, but it looks so sweet on there. I think a little bit more flared out would be even better anyway, because you're going to get more air flowing right inside of there and into your electronics, you know, so that'll be good. So yeah, spot for USB, spot for the motor wires, and then axis mount in the back. And this thing will be ready to go. And then of course you get the arm protection. Nice TPU, but this stuff doesn't come with the frame, so when you buy the frame, you just get the frame, the base plate, the top plate, some blue M3 20mm standoffs. That's the other thing too, is they're only 20mm, so I like it, you know, to be 20mm. You usually can't get away with that when you're using one of these cameras, but he made it to where it's just so perfect. It just almost barely just scrapes along the bottom, so I can move this up and down no problem, just like you're supposed to, with 20mm standoff. So that's pretty awesome. And then the cam plates, there's 3 slots, so you can pick which one of the 3 you want it to go for, back, middle, or forward, and then it'll also go up and down depending on what camera you use. But yeah, this one's ready to go. I haven't flown it yet. It started raining today. I was gonna fly it today, but let me show you how quiet these motors are. Super quiet. They're super smooth. I'm pretty happy with them. I can't wait to fly it. Yeah, even in a hover, they're just super quiet too. So let me show you what you get when you buy the frame. You get the base plate. It's 3mm thick, 143 motor to motor. Nice carbon. Then you get the Airblade battery strap, the M3 20mm standoffs, some M3 steel screws. It would be nice to get the colored aluminum screws, but you know, you can buy those yourself. I like to I keep this little container, and I try to buy some whenever I can to throw in here, just to kind of add to the collection. I usually get them from Rotor Geeks, but actually I think Airblade has some now. I don't know if they have the screws or not, but I know they have standoffs. But I get my screws from Rotor Geeks. They got the 7075 aluminum. The cam plates are these right here, light as a feather, and it just goes in, you know, it notches in just like that, and then you can choose which slot you use, you know, and then you can slide it up and down. You could even use taller standoffs if you really wanted to. You could throw some 25mm on there or something. Actually, no, you can't, because then this wouldn't fit. So yeah, 20mm. The camera that I'm using though, it's one of the bigger ones, you know, for out of the micro cameras, so anything else is going to be smaller, and because this one, it won't move up or down. I mean, you can see it's pretty much touching the bottom plate, and then you can see right there it's almost touching the top, so it looks like you won't even be able to move it, but it moves perfectly, nice and easily. Yeah, it's pretty nice. He did a good job designing those cam plates. It's just perfect. And then yeah, here's the feet. But so you'll be able to either print these yourself or pretty soon you'll be able to order them off Airblade. And I'm sure they'll probably look just like this. Nice TPU print. Pretty nice. So I'm going to be building this one up using different components than what I use on that one. So let's see, the Ori 32, this shouldn't be any problem with using the skirt. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably just burn out sections for the motor wires in the back, and then set everything up. Yeah, see, this is going to be perfect for that skirt because this doesn't stick out on the sides at all. It's for sure going to fit with that. Yeah, this is actually inside the sides of the plate, so it's going to be just perfect. Let's see, it'd be like that, and then the holes lined up right there. Can't see. Yeah, perfect. Sweet. So yeah, there it is, the Airblade zmr150. So you can't bend it at all in the middle, and then the arms, they just have a tiny bit of flex, and they have even less once you have the top plate on. So this thing's gonna be pretty solid. It's nice and beefy. I think it's gonna hold up to crashes pretty good. You got the nice motor protection right here. I think that's all I got. This one also will have the Superman motors on it. I think that'll be a good option on 4S. Alright, so that's it for this one. The next video I have of this will be some DVR of this flying on 4S and 3S. Since they are 4500 kV, I think that they're going to do pretty good on 3S. I was already kind of doing some little punches in the house on 3S, and it's pretty punchy, so pretty excited to see how it does. Alright, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Oh, wait, one more thing. I got this thing too. This is the Hawkeye Firefly micro camera. I was getting pretty good results with this thing. The video looked pretty good, way better than I was expecting it to, and so I think I'm going to use it a little bit more. And I was thinking, because on mine I went bottom mount, there's just plenty of room for this guy right here on top. It's just so perfect for it. And you know, the only time I've tested this was when I had it on my Eclair Lite 3-inch with 1404s with these Superman motors, and then I tried it out on my 2.5-inch Eclair with 1107s. Those motors got a little bit warm with this on there, and then the Eclair Lite, it did pretty good. I was actually pretty happy with that, and this is gonna have even more power, so I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be just perfect for this setup right here. So yeah, I'll do a couple flights. You know, I'll try 3S, then 4S, and then I'll try 4S probably with the camera on it, see how it does. And I'll upload those videos. So alright, a little update before I upload this video. Wanted to show this because I started on this other build. With the Ori 32, it fits just perfect. And the Maytech F411, see, look at that. It's all just sealed in there. You can put the motor wires in through the front hole there. Put a zip tie down right there. And then the back will have the little hole right down there for the motor wires on both sides. I just love this skirt so much. Love it. I have to have one for this other one, so hopefully Win hurries up and redesigns this thing. Doesn't it look sweet though? With these matching motors too. Need some red props. But yeah, you can see since it flares out right there in the middle, it kind of goes around the FC. And then it just needs a hole right here for the USB. Just cut a hole out right there for the USB and it's perfect. But I'm going to leave this on here for this guy's build. Actually, no, I'll ask him if he wants it, I guess. But you shouldn't have to get to the USB very many times. I mean, even when you get it, all you're going to have to do is bind it up. And the receiver has a bind button, so you just bind up the receiver and then hit arm and you're ready to go. So it'll be totally ready to go. You won't even have to plug in at all to USB. But if you ever had to, let's see, there won't be anything attached to the top plate or the side skirt or anything, so all you'll have to do is just take out 1, 2, 3, 4 screws and then you'll be able to lift this whole thing off. Shit, actually I don't know how that will work. No, you won't be able to because of the motor wires. Actually, you know what? I think the motor wires might need to go underneath anyway. I think some little notches on the bottom right here, there's just enough space to kind of notch it out for motor wires. I can't go as high as I did back here because then it would make it too thin up here and it could break, but I could just do that little section along the bottom there. It's about 2.5 millimeters high right there, and that should be plenty of room for the motor wires. I think that's what I'm going to do. Because this skirt is just like, it's got to go on. It's got to go on. It's too cool to not put on here. And then once it's redesigned and has that axle mount, everybody's going to want to use it anyway. It's going to be awesome. Alright. So I went ahead and did what I said I was going to do, and I just notched out the bottom of the skirt. You can see right there. So that the motor wires could just go through the bottom. It worked out perfect. As you can see, did it on this side too. So when this is all the way down, the motor wires just go right through that little hole in the bottom. And then the skirt's good to go. So that way also, when the top plate's on, the screws will be screwed into the skirt. And then you can just take out these 4 screws and this whole thing will just lift up. And then your cam plates will stay in the bottom with the camera on it. So this whole thing will just pop off. Alright. Another thing too is if you buy the frame now and you don't get the skirt, when the skirt finally is available, it would be super simple to just add it to your already built quad. All you'd have to do is take the top plate off, take off the 4 standoffs, and then just throw this on there. Put 4 screws in the bottom, top plate on, 4 screws on top, and you're done. That's all you gotta do. So very easy to add later on. Here's this one finished up with the skirt on it, just to give you an idea of what it would look like It's not going to be exact because this skirt needs a lot of work. Damn, that thing is strong. Like, these standoffs with the screws in it, I mean, this skirt, you know, it's acting as standoffs. And it feels just so tough right there, like, as if it was a real standoff, you know? It's awesome. Crazy. I mean, it feels like a real standoff. I can't even squeeze it. So yeah, this thing, it feels just like a tank. It's awesome. The arms are much more stiff now with this all put together than they were when I just was doing it with the base plate. Yeah, it just feels so stiff and strong. Yeah, this one looks really nice. I'm kind of jealous. I think I would rather have this one. But, oh well. I'm going to get the updated skirt when it gets finished, and then I'll throw that on mine, and it'll look as cool as this one. I don't know, these 1404s make it look pretty sick too, though. I mean, it just kind of makes the whole thing look real low profile. And with those 20mm, that 20mm height, you know, it makes it look so sick. I love it. And then have an axis mount back here. And then we need something for USB. So there's got to be a square hole here on both sides probably, which might kind of ruin the vent, you know, but I don't know. I mean, I remember on the Atom V2 Mini, the Atom Mini V2, it has that TPU canopy, you know, that covers the whole top. And I was able to make the stack. It has like all these different kind of cutouts in the side of it, and I was able to set it up to where like I made my stack height exactly where one of those cutouts was, so that the USB was lined up with it, and I was able to do it that way. So maybe if he redesigns it, he can just put some kind of cutouts in it that look like a design but are functional as well as a open space for USB, you know. I don't know. I'm really digging this though. It looks so sweet to me. I really like how it bows out on the sides right there. It makes it look so nice from the top. Alright, well, I just wanted to show, you know, comparison with the skirt and without the skirt. And with 1404s compared to 1306s. Just looks sleeker, more low profile. Alright,